What's up, everybody? Teeeker here. Today, the Teeeker Toy Time Machine is going to take us back to 1984. We're going to check out Transformers Grimlock.
Let's get it on!
I had a full unboxing, but I did the entire video already and apparently didn't charge my mic. So I'm going to try to cut some of that in, but I don't want you going 15 minutes just watching me play around. So we're going to see how this turns out. So we got 1984 G1 Grimlock versus 2025. I'm not even sure if this is Studio Series. I don't think so. Grimlock. So we got a little versus here. We'll check them out. So, Transformers was a phenomenon and probably would still be considered a phenomenon. It's the first time I was a little kid where I remember my mom and dad were like, we can't find them. They're nowhere to be found. The most recent thing probably like that was the Power Rangers and then just Pokemon cards today in general. But so me and my brother both did get one for Christmas. I don't think it was the 1984 Christmas. I imagine it was 1985. My older brother got Grimlock, fan favorite, coolest Dinobots, and I ended up getting, I believe this is Slag, the Stegosaurus. If I don't have his name right, somebody feel free to leave that in the comments. Originally, Grimlock and the first three Dinobots, the Brontosaurus and Triceratops, I can't remember their name right now, but they were kind of the first wave, and they were G1, and they were bad guys. Well, not bad guys, but they were not friends of the Autobots when they first came out. And then later on, the Autobots, I believe, made Slag and the Pterodactyl, and then they all united, and they've been good guys ever since. Grimlock's got kind of that, let's just say, old country style mentality as a robot. Very cool fig. They're huge in the cartoon. You know, I always, in every one of my videos, I always wish, like, when you have the groups of Dinobots or Insecticons or all, I wish they could all kind of come together and be like Devastator. But we all know that can't happen. But they are very big, and that's why they fight Devastator a lot of time. They kind of get whooped up on by Devastator a little bit in the movie. So again, we got the 2025 version. Like I said, I'm going to try to cut it in where I actually unboxed it. This was provided by a phenomenal whatnot seller called Harley Girl. She buys Target pallets and resells stuff really, really cheap. Cuts great deals. And I believe she donates all her proceeds to charity. So let's give her a good shout out. I bought many things from her, and I'll continue business with her because this thing right here retails for about 65 bucks. She gave it to me much cheaper than that. So I'll put her information in the description. But Harley Girl and whatnot, she does a good job, helps people out. So let's go ahead and get our little bit of verses here. So obviously, there's a huge size discrepancy, and there are some similarities, but they did do some good changing as far as to make new Grimlock his arms move. And there are many other variations of Grimlock. My son has one that I've been looking for about a month and can't seem to find. But these look pretty similar. We'll do a. Still getting used to my new camera angle, my new desk. I can't seem to find where I want my camera. I think this is more similar to my old desk. I don't really like the straight front in front of me. Felt like it kind of took away. Grimlock does. Old Grimlock, I do have a sword. And new Grimlock, all we got is his gun. So, kind of what the underside look like if you need to see the undercarriage. So, we'll attempt to transform him real quick. Real quick, if you have seen the Transformers movie, Grimlock it's called Wheelie. He's got a little slingshot in his hand, and he smacks Grimlock in the nose with some kind of rock or something, and then they become buddies. So he literally rides around with a Grimlock on his back like that in the movie. They did not make him very mobile at all. If you know anything about blockies, which I have a bunch, they actually kind of are built the exact same way, but blockies are a little more mobile. But those are some other videos. This Wheelie, his arm is basically stationary. Now his shoulder swivels, and that arm's in the slingshot mode. Head does move a little, but legs aren't set in one spot. Now the hips move, so he can ride on Grimlock. I said, look like they kind of got him set up to sit like that. And he would look really giant on old Grimlock. Actually stays on old Grimlock a lot better. That would probably be more of a scale of like Bumblebee would look like next to Grimlock. So let's see if we can transform original Grimlock. It's always fun when you're pulling on your old 30-something-year-old Transformers. You don't want to snap anything in half. And it never sounds good when you start pulling on them. So, one thing I'll say about a lot of new Transformers, the ones that don't feel really, really cheap are really hard to transform. I've had to get on multiple YouTube videos to help my son transform some of his newer stuff. But there are so many tiers to the Transformers now. They make the really nice, I believe it's the Studio series. Those transform and look much. And then they have like the Titan class and all that good stuff. And then you have the lower tiers. And it's like that with any toy. You know, they're generally like your Target and Walmart exclusives, especially with Marvel and all those. They have a lot cheaper brands. So here's Grimlock from 1984, transformed. He'll stand up on his own. And again, I did an entire video where I actually unboxed it. Here's the back of the box. and I already threw everything in the trash. And then I went back to review my video and edit and realized I had no sound. So moving on to 2025 Grimlock. All right, his head goes back. Chest opens up just like, I say his chest opens up. Just like 1984 Grimlock. I believe we got to do some stuff with his feet first. So he's got a much shorter tail, but it's put together way differently. All right. So it's actually like flaps right there that open up, and his tail's hooked to those. And then they, if I can remember correctly, because the first video, and again, I'll try to cut some pieces in without it being boring and, you know, no volume. Wow, I just pulled that off. Hopefully that didn't break. Whoop. All right, so that would slide in there. Hopefully I can do this one the right way. Again, trying out some new angles here. We'll leave that off for right now. Put it back on later. So those his feet flip back like that. And it encases the tail, which that's actually a lot better because the original they're just right there on the side. Kind of looks goofy. I don't know if they're like that on the movie or not. Flip the feet there. And then it's the exact same system with a, well, I thought it was. No, the hips are a little different. All right. So now that we actually got his feet set up, let's see if we can get the rest of them. Now the dinosaur head comes back. Now they flip back just like original. And it does come up the exact same way. But you got to put his head up first. Because old Grimlock's head's already stationary. Locks in right there. Hands are a little different on this one. They actually go inside as to where the original hands, they just slide back and forth. I love when I tell y'all something, I can't get it to work. Yeah, slide back and forth. I'm not sure why his toes move. You'd think those would go back so his hands would be easier seen. And they actually, they don't go back there either. That's kind of a flawed method right there. Does have some shoulder movement, a little bit of hip movements, some knee. Now, he's a bigger guy, so you get a little bit of, he's a lot more mobile than the original 84 one. This is a pretty cool toy. I'm gonna lie. I was actually, like I said, I was gonna buy one of these, and they retail for like $59.99 brand new. Again, I ran across it on one night from Harley Girl, and she took care of me. So that actually does unhook, so his arms will move a little more like that. Oh, so we do have some turn right there. Good stuff. It does look cooler when his arms are up like that. It's almost like little wings. And they actually move all the way around. We can do some serious winging right there. Put his gun in his hand and see how it looks. Sweet. All right. So 2025 Grimlock. Blue. I like it. I'm a gray guy, but man, that looks sharp. I said it's a time machine, a little bit of versus. So a lot of similarities. They kept a lot of the same things, just much bigger. Very cool fig. I do appreciate everybody for watching. You know, please leave comments, things like that. If there's ever any particular toy line or specific toy you'd like me to check out, open up, I may have it or I'll try to find it. Just leave me a comment. Just don't ask me to buy a $600 Mayflex or something like that. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but reasonable stuff. And again, I do appreciate everybody that watches. I haven't been doing very many long form videos lately because it has been just so miserably hot here in South Carolina. And I'm from here. I played college football here. And the last week and a half, we had 115 heat index for about one straight week. So today we got a break in the weather. So I'm doing some long videos. Pump out a few more. And I appreciate everybody who watches. Have a wonderful day. Teeeker out.